If you're tired of Productor freezing or not showing you any data, or pretty much not being able to load your large catalog, I've perhaps found a really good solution, and that is Merchflow. It's a tool that's been recommended to me by a lot of people recently, so I gave it a try and it's absolutely amazing. If you want to bulk change your prices, if you want to make edits to your listings, filter out products that haven't sold in a while, or do things like copy your ASINs in bulk for ads. And the best thing is you can actually get Merchflow for free if you're lower than tier 10,000 on Amazon Merch. So let me show you what the tool looks like and how it works, and how I've been using it a lot recently to revive some old listings, start getting sales with them again. So first of all, it is a Chrome extension. I'll have a link to it down below, and it adds this right here at the top to your menu, which my menu is quite overflown right here. Should probably tidy that up a bit, but either way, when you open it up, it has a products tab, a designs tab, and a publish tab. I spend most of the time in the products tab. It's similar to the products tab from Productor, except this one actually works. And it's a lot easier to use as well, in my opinion. So first of all, there are some quick filters, and these are extremely handy. So if you click on this, you will see that you can, for example, filter by unsold products that haven't had a sale in over 18 months and are essentially pending deletion. So you can click on this and then it will apply a new filter. Now you won't actually see my designs and my listings, they'll be censored in the video, but in your case, you should be able to see down here how many unsold products you have across all markets and all different product types down here. So it says 1 out of 1,000 for me. That's because the page size is set to a maximum of 1,000. You can change that right here in order to make it load faster or more slowly. And this is also great to affect the batches. If you have a really high account with lots of products, the batches that you're making bulk edits to. So if you only want to change prices for 1,000 products or 100 products at once to kind of test this tool, then use one of these settings. If you want to just, make changes to loads and loads of listings at once, then use one of the higher settings right here, and it will show pretty much all of or most of your catalog with the filters applied. If you scroll across the menu at the bottom right here, you can see all of the different fields like product type. So I could now filter out, if I wanted to, just the standard t-shirt. So you can click on select all. By the way, you have to hit this symbol right here to apply a filter. I could click on select all, which disables everything, and then just choose the standard t-shirt. And now it's showing me all t-shirts that haven't sold in over 18 months. Now it is showing, though, as you can see, different marketplaces. So if you only wanted to filter out the US, for example, then you could scroll across to the right a little bit further until you see the market bracket right here. So we can click on this filter, deselect these, and then choose just the US right here. And now if you wanted to make edits to these, you can select all on this page on the left hand side. You could click edit prices, and then you could quickly say, take $1 off it or increase it by 1. You could increase the price by a specific amount right here. Like, let's say you want it to be $3 more expensive, which wouldn't really make sense if the products haven't sold. You would want to drop the price. So what I've been doing is I've been setting the price to something like $13.99, or even the minimum like $13.38, to try and revive some of those super old listings. You could also just say set to minimum price right here, which will automatically, no matter which products you've selected, just drop them to the minimum, to 0 royalties, which is, I think, a good strategy, because once you've got that first sale, you can always put the price back up. It's better to have one sale, try and get some momentum back, than no sales whatsoever and just have it deleted. You can round to the next 99 right here, which is essentially like if it's currently priced at $15, it will probably take it up to $14.99, something like that. So you've got a bunch of settings to just bulk change the prices here. You can also edit keywords. So we click on this. This is going to give you the option to search and replace, to prepend, append, set a value, and do that in specific fields in your listing as well. You can say here, search for a specific word, let's say 2025, and then you can replace that with 2026. If you have some listings that are kind of seasonal, like a Halloween design and for 2025, and if you wanted to change all of those to the next year for 2026, you can do that right here in bulk. Really handy. Now, once you click one of these bulk options, like set to minimum price, as you can see, they get added to the publish section. So we actually have a number right here now, 867. So if I click on that, it's going to take me over here. I've got a long queue of actions that are pending, and you've got some additional settings at the bottom. You can increase or decrease the delay between pages loading, and that's to kind of stop it from overloading the server on Amazon and it timing you out. But 2 seconds has been working fine for me. Retry skipped products. So this is a thing you probably know. Sometimes your products are in processing, or maybe your page doesn't load properly. In that case, MergeFlow will skip that listing. If you want them to be retried, you have to check that box. I usually leave that off now, and you can enable auto translation from Amazon. I don't know why you would do that, but automatically when you make price changes, MergeFlow turns it off, that setting, which is amazing, because if auto translate is on and you make a price change, it will still translate the listing and review the listing again, and that can sometimes cause rejections, especially with older listings, and they're very unnecessary, annoying rejections. So leave this checkbox off. The default settings work well, but just so you know, you have some options down there. And then if you click publish, it will open up a new tab and it will keep changing prices and publishing without any problems. I haven't had any issues with this. It's been working so smoothly for about 2 weeks, and not only has it helped me sell a lot of old listings that I thought had no chance of selling just through dropping the price to the minimum or really low price, but it's also given me a sense of control over my catalog, because it has grown to hundreds of thousands of different products, and it is quite difficult to kind of filter through that, make edits, and kind of keep an oversight if you don't have a tool that can properly do this without any glitches or errors. So this has been absolutely amazing. Then once the publishing is done with everything, you'll get a notification, and then you can select everything right here and just remove the selected rows from the list, and you can just go back to the products tab, add some new stuff to it. Now, another thing that's worth mentioning is that if you have multiple markets selected, and even if you have multiple products selected right here, so let's say you want to make some edits to the prices of your standard t-shirts, of your hoodies, of your sweatshirts all in one go, you can queue these changes for different markets and different products. And then let's say during the publish process, you have a listing where there's 3 different price changes on that same listing. It will do those at the same time. So essentially you will have a bigger queue right here in the publish tab, but it will combine the actions if they're in the same listing, which actually saves you time. That's something I didn't realize at the start, but if you want to kind of speed up the process and not have to change every single product individually or every single market individually for each listing, then throw them all together in the same publish sequence. I hope that makes sense, but hard to explain. Another thing you can do is you can add your own filters right here. So if you click on my filters, you can click add and give it a name up here. So if you have some specific thing in mind, for example, you could say anything with 0 sales, which was created in a certain time frame. So you could say between right here, and then filter out, for example, and we'll do somewhere in 2024 to the start of 2025. So things that didn't sell last year, maybe you just want to specifically look at those, then you can add that right here as a filter. Some more quick filters that are handy. If we scroll down, there's a bunch of presets. You can also click on more right here, which expands this. So you can look at things that have sold in a certain time frame right here, sold at least once, never sold even once. Another thing that's really handy is my uploads. If you click on more right here, you have filters such as new uploads of the last 90 days that already have sales, or new uploads of the last 90 days with no sales. So anything recently posted that hasn't sold yet, you can make an edit right here. Uploaded more than 3 months ago and still no sales, or uploaded more than 9 months ago and still no sales. So there's so many cool preset settings right here. Just know that if you apply these right here, like for example, I've gone through this setting a few times, it does still have all different product types and different marketplaces. So you might not want to, reprice absolutely every single product. Maybe you just want to focus on standard tees first. But either way, those are some filters that I would recommend trying out. On top of that, you can add tags to these listings, which I've heard some people use to categorize things for their ads. And speaking of ads, you can also click right here, create a bulk ad file, or copy your ASINs of the selected rows, which is probably going to be handy for coffee mugs as well, because they will have all sorts of different ASINs for the ads with the different types of coffee mugs that are being sold in one listing. And you also have some settings over here that help you export this as Excel sheets right here, which I haven't really tried that yet, but just so you know, there is a ton of settings hidden here, and you can delete products as well. As far as I'm aware, I've not tested that yet, but if you select over here on the left and then click this red symbol, delete products, So in this case, you have to enter the number 1000 in the field below and then press OK. Otherwise, it's not going to start, just as a safety mechanism so you don't accidentally delete a lot of listings.
And it's gone.
What?
But yeah, so that's what I know so far of Merchflow. Seems to be an absolutely amazing app. It's on Gumroad. Again, as I said, the link is below. And I've also managed to organize a free trial, a $1 a month, which is almost a free trial. So if you've seen this before or you've wanted to try it before and you're in a higher tier, then you can do it for $1 a month, which is the same thing I'm doing right now. I've been testing it for 2-3 weeks now, and then it renews at $29. For anyone below tier 10,000, as you can see right here, it is free, which is really, really cool. Love that pricing system. Instant access, cancel anytime, thousands of active users, 5 years on the market. So really excited to have finally tried this tool out, because it's been around for a while, but I wasn't really that aware of it. It's been a massive game changer for me, and it's running almost all day long on my laptop. Let me know in the comments down below if you've used Merchflow before and if you know any tips and tricks with it. And check out this video next for 6 tips on how to increase your royalties and your profits on Amazon Merch.